Wow, man. Looking at this main event this past Saturday, I have never been on the right side of a robbery till last night. And, I still do have mixed feelings about it. Um, I was sitting there waiting for the decision, thinking that my money was gone. And I was too shocked to even celebrate when they announced Mosvar won it. I don't know what the game plan was for Mosvar going into that fight. He didn't wrestle till the fourth round, I believe. I think that's when he landed his first takedown. I Why would you go in there and try to strike with one of the most elite strikers in the division when he has a clear, footwork and distance management advantage against you and not shoot a single take? I was dumbfounded by the game plan. I'm, happy with the result for my wallet, right? But I don't know. In my mind, if I had to score that fight, I think I probably would have done a draw. I think that's with him winning that round and losing the point deduction. I think Lerone took one and two pretty easy, and I think Mosvar took four and five, and they draw on three. So it's majority draw, right?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a robbery. I was just as surprised as you were to hear the result. And I mean, I thought Murphy guaranteed won the first two rounds, potentially even the third, and then with the point deduction in the fourth, I believe it was in the fourth, right? At the start of the fourth.
Yeah, I think it was the fourth, and they
Yeah,
dominated the rest of the round. Yeah.
yeah. And then with that point deduction in the fourth, I didn't see a way for Movsar to win. I mean, he clearly won the fourth and the fifth round. He was the more active fighter, and and he landed a lot of good takedowns, which was what I thought his whole game plan was going to be for the whole fight. When I saw him striking in the first two rounds, I was very surprised. I think his striking looked good, but it didn't look the sharpest. I think it could have been better. And that showed with, in my opinion, Lerone winning those first few rounds. I mean, you look at the strikes, Evloev, Evloev landed 124 total strikes. 68 of those were significant. It was pretty close on the significant strikes. Murphy landed 89 significant strikes. It really it was a closely competitive fight. The kind of fight you want to see for a title eliminator, but I don't see the same things the judges did.
I don't know. I'm happy with for my money, but like that type of judging is just not good for the sport.
Yeah, especially in a fight of this caliber with so many stakes on the line. So I'd like to see them do better next time, and we'll see. Now we have Volk facing off against Evloev. I think that'll be an interesting fight. I think Volk will mostly be able to negate the wrestling like we saw him do with Ilya. I mean, sorry. I think Volk will mostly be able to negate his wrestling like we saw against Islam. And Islam's a much bigger dude, so I expect this to be a competitive fight, but I think Volk will be able to control that and retain that title.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think if, Mosvar comes with the same game plan like he did last night, uh, Volk is going to outpoint him. He's going to do what he does. He's going to land the crisper strikes. He's going to be more active. And if he's not going to be like spamming takedowns, he's going to desperately need those versus Volk. And Volk is going to have better defense than I think Murphy did. So I think that's definitely his fight to win. I could see them just, saying fuck both of these guys and then putting Jean Silva for the title shot. That would be hilarious.
I hope not.
Um, I hope not for Volk. I think this is an easier fight for Volk, honestly. So I'd love to see another Volk title defense, and send Evloev back to the Shadow Realm, so we won't
The
see him for another
Gulag.
couple of years.
Back
You
to the
know.
Gulag. I was extremely impressed with Luke Riley. I think he looked very slow, started slow in the first round. Had me a little bit nervous there. But I love the way he bounced back and he was able to really find his pace, find the reach, and implement his game plan for this fight. I think he looked phenomenal, honestly, at the end, and he is really a young fighter that has a lot to learn. And experiences like this are only going to help him. I mean, I was listening to his post-fight press conference, and he was very critical of himself, but at the same time, he recognized the importance of what he did, and he couldn't have been happier with the win, and he kept saying he just wanted to get back into the cage and fight again, and take this opportunity to keep growing. Um, I think there's a reason the UFC put him as the co-main event, considering some of the talent that was on that card, and to have him above all of them, that means something, that they see something in him. And at only 26 years old, I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he maybe even has a higher ceiling than Patty, and I want to see him back in the cage ASAP.
I was also incredibly impressed by what we saw from Riley. I was kind of surprised he didn't get the finish there. I think that's more of a testament to Aswell just having a granite chin. He cracked him with some really good shots, and Aswell kind of just fucking ate him, you know. And like you said, I do think that I mean, he is kind of similar to Patty, kind of similar fighting style where he has great striking, can grapple. But I do think he does have, you know, currently a higher ceiling, especially with Patty losing the that last fight to Justin. I think this is someone that I'm really looking forward to seeing him rise through the UFC. I think if that fight was 5 minutes, I think he would have found the finish. As well looked rough in those last two rounds. I mean, that last round specifically. So yeah, I think honestly they're probably going to eye like an Apex main event fight for Riley next, and I look forward to seeing whatever it is.
Yeah, I think Apex main event would be perfect. I'd love to see that, and hopefully start fighting his way up the rankings. But one step at a time. I think he's on the right trajectory. And he's also a lot more likable than Patty.
Yeah, I agree.
Vadiyeshia Ocean second Iwo knockout.
I love Ewo. Let me drop this. I don't know I'm holding this. I fucking loved Ewo, man. I already watched his fight on Contender Series. I watched his fight, his first debut fight, and now this one. All three of them fucking bangers. This guy, he's a fucking animal. Um, I wasn't expecting him to do it in 30 seconds. I thought, I still bet him under half a round. But holy shit, he just made it look so easy. And then goes and talks about how he wants to show off his judo. How can you not love the guy? Shout out to Poland, great country full of great people. I can't wait to see Iwo fight again. And it's probably going to be soon. He didn't take any fucking damage at all. So
Um, that was spectacular. Iwo in less than half a minute, getting the knockout against a huge dude that was coming down in a weight class. And he made it look way too easy. Didn't even break a sweat. This guy definitely broke more of a sweat warming up for the fight than during the fight. So every time you can do something like that, that's spectacular, and that's going to be remembered for a while. Iwo is on a trajectory to be a fighter that we're going to remember for a very long time. This guy already potentially has a Hall of Fame worthy fight, and then he follows that up with a 30-second knockout. How can you not like him? I think at light heavyweight, there's a lot of interesting fights for a guy with his skill caliber. Um, I was talking to Daniel about a potential Khalil Roundtree fight would be super interesting. But I'd like to continue seeing Iwo tested. I would want him to show off that grappling and that judo like he was talking about, because I think if he's as good as we think he is in that department, he's going to be a real problem as a contender and on his charge for the title. And another massive shout out to Poland. We love Poland. Poland number one, Polish power. Let's see what Ewo can do.
I'm trying to figure out how to say Poland is number one. You gotta let me practice it.
Polska jest numerem jeden.
Numerem
Polska
jeden.
jest numer jeden.
Polska jest numerem jeden.